Hello and welcome to another update video about XRP. Well, XRP has shown some upside, but now we start to see quite a sharp pullback after that surge that happened. So it is potentially a little bit problematic, this price action on the micro scale now, given that the pullback is quite sharp that we see. I want to take you through the structures that I see on the micro level. Bigger picture, nothing has changed, but I'm not impressed by the structure of the rally. Okay, I'm not impressed at all. All support levels here remain relevant. We will talk about the meaning of each of these. And essentially, XRP has not managed to break and sustain, or to break out and actually sustain above the February range. That is a bit, yeah, that's a bit concerning, or at least it's just, yeah, it just shows some short-term weakness that's coming in. But that's because the move up is not going to be an impulse. I mean, we talked about that. The rally from the 3rd of February low is not impulsive. So we are dealing with potentially just a larger diagonal pattern at best. These can die at any time. See, this is not a 5-wave move up that has developed after the 3rd of February crash. Why? You might ask why. I can see visually 5 waves. The problem is the fifth wave, the third wave would be the shortest, which is technically not allowed. So I can say maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That third is shorter than wave 5. That third is shorter than wave 1. It doesn't work. So it has to be an ABC structure, which means the third wave. So if this is wave 1, the rally that happened around the 4th of or 3rd of February, 4th of February, then the third wave would also have to be an ABC structure, which I try to show here on the chart right now, to try to keep it as clean as possible. So let's delete some of the microstructures that we don't actually need anymore. Yeah, we don't need those. So let me just tidy it up. We just want to keep it clean. Main takeaway is, or was in the last few days, that a correction in wave 2 could be complete, given that the price reached the 78.6 retracement, rallied in 5 waves. We saw that in yesterday's video, made you aware that there's a good chance for further upside. That happened, and we now need to see if the bulls can defend support levels, yeah, and if this is going to take the price higher, and if it leads to, let's say, rising prices going forward, or whether this was just a news-related pump, and now we dump again. Yeah, because technically this is just expectations. First of all, the move up, obviously, we had bullish structure. Well, we had a 1-2 setup, and I even had a 1-2 setup on the smaller time frame here. We talked about that in yesterday's video before the pump. And now we then suddenly get news hit it, right? So we had a news event, which means that people made that decision to buy based on it. Obviously, you get lots of expectations priced in. In addition to that, you had some people who were just, well, they just had to buy because they were maybe short. So they had to cover those shorts, and some FOMO, yeah? And now we need to see in the first pullback if this is something more meaningful, or if it was really just a pump and dump. Because fundamentally, we don't know much. We don't know when it will be purchased, yeah? We don't know how much. All these things are needed to really get it priced in more accurately, I would argue. So for now, we're simply watching the structure, and it helps us to understand whether this move up can be kind of trusted or not. First of all, I wouldn't trust it because we're not dealing with an impulse, as I explained. So the move up is likely going to be bumpy, choppy, and so on. Best I can tell, if this is some kind of an impulse, I mean, it could be wrong. If this is some kind of an impulse, it should really hold above $2.53. But even then, we're now too deep for that, so it would have to be like this, which is questionable. So, apologies. So, this is a 4th wave. If this is a 4th wave and we're dealing with an impulse, it should not break below 253. I think it might do, though. So, what would be a reasonable alternative? Well, the reasonable alternative is, it's not really an alternative, it's quite likely that the 3rd wave unfolds as an ABC structure. And you see that here. A wave, B wave, C wave. Yeah, and then this would be an A wave of wave 3. The pullback for a B wave could land in this area. Support is $2.14. 230 is another support level. And then maybe we get upside continuation from there. So that means I'm watching a weak micro support range at 253. But any break below 253 would suggest we might be working on that wider wave B, which is, you know, it's not necessarily high confidence, because these messy ABC structures, they are not giving us much I don't know, clarity or very clear parameters. B wave support levels are always weak, so it's tricky. So we have an upper support area where the price might find support, maybe even in this internal A wave. Then we could get a bounce. If we form another high, we've got actually 5 waves up. But then again, it might just be a larger A wave in 5 waves that can happen. So it's going to be a bumpy road. I think what we need to focus on, we have micro support between 253 and 264. I see a good chance of breaking. Then we've got 214 to 230, which is support for the B wave. Below that level, I have to assume circle wave 2 is still unfolding. Yeah, that could still happen. So I can say alternative 2, because 195 might then be tested again. How does that work? It could simply mean that, look, the initial move down was not a wave 2, it was an A wave. This is a high B wave, and we come down in a C wave and then take off. Often news-related pumps are B waves. Very, very important to understand. That happens very often. In crypto, very often high B waves. So we might test support again, then rally, which means the most stable key support is at 195. Can label that key support still for the bullish range, or for a bullish scenario in a range. This is key support. This would B wave, B wave support, B wave support weak. Yeah. Why is it weak? Because B waves sometimes don't really respect fib levels so much. Let me hold on. Let me clear that up. So they sometimes go very deep, and B waves can even overshoot to the downside, which makes it so tricky to trade and track diagonal patterns. But that should give you an idea, and this is really just micro support up here. I mean, it's not so meaningful, because we could still be bullish even if we break below the upper support. So yeah, hopefully that helps you understand the structure. It means that the next rally will decide whether we form a 5-wave move up or just it's just a B wave bounce. And overall, the next objective for the bulls will be a break above 340. Yeah, that's the update about XRP. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, if you're interested, make sure that you follow us on our main channel, MCO Global. Only a few days ago, I shared this 1-2 setup for you, for XRP here on this channel, which obviously played out. So this is talked about some other coins as well. There's content like this on this channel, also other asset classes. If you're interested in XRP, I also shared a video about really my long-term view about XRP on this channel. You'll find it talking about all-time high targets, talking about how the next bear market could look like. So this is all to be found on the MCO Global channel, which is our main channel. Check it out. The link is in the description. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.